Since the Man U game.
I feel like he should have been subbed in both games. And I want to ask this question to all of you three, yeah? Are we starting to feel that in Arteta's head he is untouchable? If he's having a bad game, it should be the same as everyone else. Like, the thing is, in that moment when he missed the penalty, you saw his head drop. Odegaard's gone to him, pick your head up. I even think before that, he wasn't really getting into the game and he was a bit tired. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel this hesitance that Arteta has to take him off. And it's like, do you know what I mean? We've got Trossard now. I know he's not inverted. I know he's not got a left peg, even though he can use both his feet. I know he's naturally right-footed, so he's not cutting inside to the pitch in the same way that Saka is, and that might alternate your wide rotations and stuff. But for me, I just think I'm a bit worried that in his head he's just like, I need to leave him on no matter what, because it's counterproductive as well. Because if he's not resting him and managing him properly, then he's not going to be able to perform at his optimal because he's being burnt out. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys feel like he should have been subbed in both games? Because I think he should have been subbed against Liverpool, and I think he should have been subbed against West Ham. And I love him.
Probably. I'd say where the issue for Saka became for me is not that you missed a penalty. It's like, for me, I think he was over. When you missed that penalty, I don't think me personally, I don't think your head dropped by the obvious disappointment, but I think you tried to overcompensate. You knew I had to try and do a thing because there was an incident again. We went like 3 versus 2. Yeah, he either needs to get that assist, or if you're going to be greedy, as we know, as people who play Sunday League, you have to fucking put the ball in the back of the net. You never done that, innit? For me, I understand it. I don't think he should be an untouchable. We need to look after him, but he's the closest thing we have to a magic man. There's always something he's capable of something.
Jesus.
So I can understand why he's there. Jesus is there, but I don't understand taking off Jesus beyond him looking out tired, but there's no one else for Saka.
Nah, he wasn't tired.
I don't understand.
It was a tactical thing for me, in my opinion. I don't think he was tired.
One thing I would say is I don't understand the reluctance to not bring on Smith-Rowe, because Smith-Rowe...
I told you why, because they want to sell him in the summer. He doesn't rate him anymore.
Yeah, but you're not going to... I wouldn't say he doesn't rate him. He's named him number 10.
If he rated him, you would have brought him on, man. He brought Reece Nelson.
I mean, the manager's allowed to do it. As I was saying, I don't understand that, because he's the closest thing to a super sub we had last year. A lot of his goals were off the bench.
Yeah, I think with Smith,
remember, he has made a song and dance about this man staying fit, which I don't quite believe, because he's on the bench for the last few weeks. But yeah, man.
With Smith-Rowe, I think like the season before last, where Martinelli had recovered from a cruciate ligament injury, he came back, he broke down like once or twice. I think what he's said with Smith-Rowe is, like, in that season when we were due to finish 8th, it was like, we ain't really got anything to play for anyway. It's not like he can play and he might make his margins better, but we're not scrape Europa at best. We ain't getting top 4. We're better off looking at it in the longer term. Yeah, and just not using him for that, because he was fit from like February, something like that. Yeah, the season before last, Martinelli. Yeah, we just didn't use him. Yeah, like, and what he did was he reserved him, kept him. Like, he had a little pre-season. I think he went to the Olympics or something, and then he come back. Yeah, and because he had so much rest, we overcompensated the rest period post injury, so that we made sure that his body fully healed. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think
if you're on the bench, I hear you with that. But if you're on the bench, you have to be utilized, man.
I think the way he's saying it, is like, you know what? We're top of the league. We're doing well without Smith-Rowe anyway. So in the short term, don't use him. But in the longer term, that's going to help his body.
He always talks about he wants Smith-Rowe to give him problems. So maybe it's one of them coy things where he wants to see him in training and all of that jazz. I just don't understand not drawing for him, really. You know, a bit like I don't understand the subs that happened, and then 2 minutes later,
I will say, and you listen. I know DG, you're gonna be upset with me, but
I've already been fighting Smith-Rowe's case for
I'm as well, you know.
I'm not as huge up on him as I'm not as huge up in. I've never really been as huge up on him as everybody else, and I said this on this channel, but I don't think it was right for him to come on the pitch anyway. I think what you needed, I think a fit and firing ESR, someone who could drive with the ball and who's been absolutely on top of his game. Because the problem that I have with ESR is he's got too many low moments, and I always say this: he'll be in the game. He doesn't touch the ball for 10 minutes, but he can get a goal. But
this is what I'm saying. Draw for him. 10 minutes, make it happen.
But my thing is, it's not a guarantee that he gets a goal. It's not a guarantee. I think he's more of a luxury to come on. I don't feel like
who's more likely to score, him or Eddie Nketiah?
Currently, I don't trust him to come on the pitch and make.
Who's more likely to score, him or Eddie?
No, I trust him over Vieira. He has to be trusted over Vieira.
Who's more likely to score, Eddie Nketiah or Emil
Nketiah? 100%. Nketiah. 100%, bro. And if you think
who makes the third man run?
But for me, look, I just think, look,
hey, SMITH-ROWE, remember this, you know. If you ever watch my channel, remember this, you know, SMITH-ROWE. Remember he was fighting for you.
I think SMITH-ROWE's a far better ball striker as well.
It's not a slander on him, though. It's not
Eddie this, though.
I think it's more just to look at who's the one who you trust to make more of an effective difference currently and what we've seen this season. Remember, football's all about what have you done for me lately. ESR's done nothing. And that's not because of anything other than his growing pains.
Remember the last one?
Neither has Vieira.
No. His injury. But if we look at
Eddie's praise for running around, you see what SMITH-ROWE did? He's making me hate on other Highlanders. I'm sorry, Eddie, man.
Listen, I want everyone to remember something as well. Why I thought Nketiah should come on. We were 2-1 up against West Ham.
Eddie needed to come on. We had no fault.
I believe in December. Can we take a minute to think of the world-class goal that Eddie Nketiah scored, where he spun the defender, bottom corner? People don't remember this. People
I remember it.
Come on.
Hey, SMITH-ROWE, though.
No, it was a great goal.
At Old Trafford like SMITH-ROWE, though.
I'll be honest, I'll be honest. Like,
and I feel the game that we lost, Okay, cool.
I feel like
SMITH-ROWE's one man.
And when De Gea was on the floor.
How many runs how many pointless runs has Martinelli done that haven't resulted in a goal that us fans have gassed up?
Eddie Nketiah scored 2 goals this season.
Okay, has Eddie Nketiah been called up for England?
Well, I don't care.
Is he wearing what? When does he show? Has he carried this football club like SMITH-ROWE? No. Eddie, I love you, man, but I love
No, but Eddie carried us when Jesus was out. We gotta get
SMITH-ROWE carried us when we were shits, man. Come on. Stop it.
I'll promise you, SMITH-ROWE is
when Eddie needed to pass that ball when Diaz was bearing down on him, did he do it?
Much cleaner ball striker. If you look at it like his goal here, like the highlight reel, like the one against Chelsea, for example, it was from outside the box, but he doesn't put his laces for it. He uses his instep, and a lot of his goals from outside the box have come from that. Even when he uses his left foot, where he uses his instep, he's a very clean ball striker. You know, like. I'm not even trying to make this about Eddie or ESR, bruv. Like for me, I just think ESR has got goals in it. Like last season.
You know why I wanted him to get, and that's exactly why I bet Gunner King. That's a great point. That's why I again, on a serious note, banter aside, that's why I wanted him to come on, because if you look at us, I don't know if maybe if we get a more physical number 9, like we always speak about us for, we can be a bit more direct. But when we're kind of chasing it, I felt we was playing into West Ham's hands. You know what David Moyes is on. They're rigid, they're resolute. We're not going to get much change. We're not going to cross it anyways. You know, SMITH-ROWE runs in behind. He makes that third man run. Not saying other people don't, but a lot of our players, they want to go to the ball. SMITH-ROWE might even take someone with him. That could be the difference.
There's another thing about SMITH-ROWE's game that I like here. Like Arsenal have always, since my childhood, been accused of like being too cute, like being over complex with like their passing, like build up, like passing when they should shoot. SMITH-ROWE, he will see a ball like rolling on the ground. That Chelsea goal is a great example, by the way. Odegaard just rolled it to him. He didn't take a touch. He didn't control it. He didn't think.
I need you to remind these lot what you're on. You know,
you know what? I'm hitting that ball, bruv. Like, you know what? I don't care, bruv. Like, forget this pass, bruv.
You know what? Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna shoot, bruv.
I love when Lee gets animated.
About Arsenal fans, I swear. And listen, no fucks given. I don't know you. You sound probably the nicest guy ever, but it's so annoying. The only reason why he's almost like wants to keep him is because ESR and Saka have a song together. Do you know how fucking stupid that is, bro? I'm sorry. I don't.
No, let me give you
like,
my
head is just like it's exploding. It's rattling me, bro, because I'm like, you know, and again, I'm not necessarily saying this is the truth, but sometimes, and again, it'll be interesting to see all 3 of you genuinely believe on this. I think sometimes a player can be so we can outgrow a player. So we currently have someone like Jorginho. Well, I feel like
you're right. We've outgrown some players potentially in this squad already.
We've outgrown even the likes of Holding. We outgrew Leno. I feel like we've outgrown.
You could argue Gabriel Ramsdale and Partey maybe.
I
in
feel like
18
we've
months, you might
outgrown
look at that.
ESR. I feel like ESR's not gonna be. That's just my feeling. I don't feel like he's good enough. But I still also see that I see a point for him in the league. I just don't feel like for Arsenal because as I said to you when we spoke about this originally, because remember we spoke about the left wingers and getting and ESR. Remember you back me up because we were on this show together with Amenya and we were speaking about hold on. Shit, we ain't even mentioned ESR once. Where is he going to play? Left 8? Is he going to play left wing? Is he going to because where is he going to actually play?
But not what multifunctional plays.
But that's why. But my point is that if we get a forward player, we've got Trossard as well. If we get another forward, because this was the whole point we were talking about. It was the Balogun and Nketiah show when we were speaking about the striker, and we spoke about where's ESR going to go because Martinelli, Trossard, etc. And then if we got
striker,
hold on. Then you guys are waxing lyrical about Declan Rice. Get Declan Rice. So where's he gonna go? This was my whole point. So when I talk about ESR, sometimes you can outgrow a player because you don't have space.
But what evidence have we outgrown?
What I'm trying to say,
we might not see this Martinelli arguably.
What I'm trying to say with
his left wing spot to lose.
What I'm trying to say with ESR, bro, and I'm going to keep saying this, bro. You can reactively replace players, and you can proactively replace players. Now I'm going to expand on that. Liverpool this summer are going to be reactively replacing about 3 midfielders after the fact. They've fallen off, because they weren't proactive in how they replace their players in midfield, And when I talk about being proactive when you replace a player, it's not about bringing in a player when someone is like declined. It's when they're on the decline, You look at it, just looking at it, objectively speaking, as good as Xhaka is right now, he's 30, As good as Partey is, he's injury prone, So I'm not waiting until Partey's legs don't work no more, and until Xhaka's form is completely out the window. Oh my God, we need to get new midfielders because guess what? Liverpool did that, and look where they are now. Now what you need to be doing, is people keep saying Vieira's not good enough, and it really annoys me. If I'm being honest, it really annoys me, because what people are looking at, is in isolation of this season so far, Now a lot of people were saying Jack Grealish wasn't good enough, and now look at Jack Grealish, But the reality is this, what's happened is Pep didn't buy Grealish for 2 seasons ago. Pep bought Grealish for right now, Smith-Rowe, and Vieira, they're not here for right now. They're here for tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? So that when those guys, when Xhaka and Partey kind of fall off, that plate is still spinning, bro. Because ESR just comes straight in to that Xhaka 8 role. And I keep telling people that's where he's gonna go, bro. And in a year or 2, you're gonna see it, bro. You're gonna see him there.
Okay, so my 2 cents on it. Gooner Lee, remember the show that you're referencing? I said that we were going to sell him in the summer, and DG had it with me, and I said, "Look, let's."
That's his boy, bro. That's why.
That's my guy. We don't say about where I'm from. It's right or die.
I just want to give my hierarchy, right? If I'm a manager, the hierarchy for me in terms of substitution, it goes Trossard first, then Nketiah, then Smith-Rowe, then Reece Nelson, then Fabio Vieira.
Oh, right. You said Smith-Rowe. Super sub.
Yeah, Smith-Rowe's third for me.
So we do need depth, and we do need squad players.
I don't even look at it from a perspective
of Nelson for me and Fabio Vieira.
African Gooner, I don't even look at it from a perspective of hierarchy. What I look at it as, is your substitute bench, and your first 11 is like a Swiss Army knife, bro. Do you know what I mean? There's certain parts of the Swiss Army knife that need to be used for certain situations. You can't be using your can opener, as a piece of as scissors to try and cut through paper.
The situation is that we need a goal, right? The situation is you need a goal.
You can't be using certain parts of the tool to do certain jobs. Do you know what I mean? I look at the benches, there are certain jobs that Smith-Rowe will do better than the Trossard. There's certain jobs.
What did Fabio Vieira do when he came on? He brought nothing to the game. It was a useless substitution.
Let me finish, please. There's certain jobs, that other players will do better than others, like in certain situations.
I don't like this guy, bro.
The thing is, with Vieira now, I think next season we're going to see him play a lot more.
Yeah, he gets next season.
But he will be playing in the Champions League games. because his style is more of a continental style of play, innit? Like where, like with Odegaard, he's got that continental style, but he's also got that physicality and that intensity physically with his press, yeah. Whereas Vieira's all like he's more, you know, he needs a bit more time on the ball, but he can be a lot more dangerous. And I think he's as good a goal threat as Odegaard. We've seen, like, you know, like the goals that he scored, some very good goals. That Brentford goal, innit? Like when he struck it from distance, like he's hesitant in shooting.
You're reaching.
I'm not, bro. I'm not.
Honestly,
bro.
I lost interest in this conversation because I just don't feel the same way. Straight up.
I think you're being. I think you're being harsh.
Yo,
I don't see what you said.
What did
What do you
Vieira
disagree
bring
with
to
that
the
you said
game?
that?
I
He
hear
didn't bring
Gunner
anything to the
King's
game.
point, though. I do hear Gunner King's point. I really do. I do hear his point.
No,
But
but
If you look at City,
So
bro,
no, look. I
if you
hear
look
your
at City,
point
wait,
about
let me
next
see one more
season.
thing here. Let me see one more thing. If you look at City's midfielders, it's not a case of who's better between Riyad Mahrez and Bernardo Silva. It's a case of what situation is appropriate to use which. That's
because
how
both of those players are world-class players, so we can't compare it. It's very different for me. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
The thing is,
Vieira
Bernardo,
for me,
when
Bernardo next year.
when Bernardo came to City, he wasn't world class. Like
No, but we're talking about in the last 2 years.
Yeah, but Gooner, please let me finish, please. Yeah, if I may.
Against Chelsea.
Like when Bernardo Silva came, yeah, he was not world class at that time. Yeah, adapting and being rotated into that team in certain situations, and gradually and incrementally getting more minutes, yeah, and gradually being used more. That's what brought him to that world class level. So we're benchmarking Vieira when he's at that early point, yeah, when Bernardo Silva came in, yeah. But the thing is, like, obviously, it was like the second season, the third season when we start seeing that proper level from Bernardo Silva. He's like the slow cooking of attacking players.
And that's actually a direct what Arteta be saying.
They're like, it's like they're slow cooking, man, bro, because our systems are very complex, bro. You know what I mean? Like the demands are
add on to your point, Gunner King, to further boost
you know
what you're
like,
saying. You got to remember, Vieira's kind of been done dirty in that, you know, the team, you know, when Smith-Rowe and Saka came about, our team was rubbish. Like now there's competition, people are doing things, and you're never going to get in the 10 because Odegaard's there. You can play as an 8, you got Xhaka there. You can do a thing off the right, but it's a wide playmaker. We're not really here. And he joined us playing catch-up a bit like Smith-Rowe. You got to remember, you remember Fabio Vieira, he joined us with his foot in a boot. So I do think he should be given the luxury of next season. You know, that doesn't mean I haven't got any question marks with Vieira. You know, I do think there's been times where there hasn't been consistency. Clearly, you're impressing more than others in training. And I look at that Bournemouth game, ironically, it seemed like, you know, Arteta them times there was making comments and being like, oh, raw. He's giving me a problem, and you didn't take your chance. But Africa Gideon being harsh on Fabio.
Look. Let me address it.
If it don't work, we sell it. But give a man the next year, man.
I totally hear what you're saying, Gunner King. But for me, I'm talking about specifically the context of the game on Sunday. I wouldn't have brought out Vieira over Smith-Rowe. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Fabio Vieira is not going to be a good player. I don't want to see him next season. Smith-Rowe should have come on because if I want a goal, I trust Smith-Rowe right now more than I trust Fabio Vieira. That's all I'm saying. Right?
Yeah.
If I want to go, I've seen more from Smith-Rowe than I've seen from Vieira. Not that Vieira's not going to be a good player. Yeah, next season he's going to get
He's an amazing player.
Sure.
He's an amazing. Dino's killing me. He's one of my YouTube members. He's slandering Smith-Rowe. None of that. It's not a democracy when it comes to Smith-Rowe. I can't lie.
From a perspective of quality, I'll agree with you. From a perspective of fitness, I would not. And I think that's what he wrestled in that moment.
So how do you know who's more fit? How do you know who's more fit? Because they're both on the bench. So I mean, how are we saying that Vieira is more fit?
I can't like you'd imagine Fabio Vieira is more fit, and we have to be a bit cute and clever with Smith-Rowe.
Smith-Rowe is returning from an injury, one, and number two, Smith-Rowe
surgery.
Like I said, it's the same pattern, with Martinelli the season before last, where we had brought him back, and a few times he's gone back into injury, so it's reoccurred, or another injury, previous injuries reoccurred, in it. Like, so for me, I'm looking at that track record, and I'm thinking West Ham away, physically intense. You know what I mean? These men are getting in your faces. These men are like their game is benchmarked on physicality. Is that the right moment to bring him in when he's
I think you need to take into perspective there's 10 minutes of the game left. I agree. If it's the beginning of the game, I think my decision changes. But when there's last 10 minutes, Fabio Vieira, he gets pushed off the ball for me way too easily. I don't see how he was going to assert himself in the game.
He's going to have to get better.
I think Smith-Rowe could have carried the ball. He would have taken us into the final third, and maybe we could have had something happen. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, man, shout out to Jermaine, bro. You made a nice little comment there that, you know what, DG put it up for literally half a second, bro. Put it up.
You don't need to talk of that. Oh, comment. I don't know. I didn't see. I don't know.
Right. No, but no, for real. Like, listen, you know what, though? I will say, like, I do get both your points. And I do see. I do.
It's hard to say neither players Champions League caliber.
I do more kind of side with the whole, with the whole Gunner King thing. I give him a bit of time, but I wouldn't have put him on the other day. As I said, I would have kept. I even keep Tierney on, and keep how it was, but just put a striker on. I think it just made so much more sense. But listen, man, overall, I'm disappointed, as like all of you guys are, and I can't say that I'm optimistic about the league at all, bro. I think the league, it's not a failure if we don't win it, but it will feel like very, very defeated. I'll feel very defeated, and we got Champions League next year, so I'm also looking at it and I'm saying to myself, can we do all 4 competitions? Because we're gonna have to. Saka's gonna have to go through the same thing again. So
we need a big squad.
Big
half the decisions. There's no running backs, but half decisions are gonna have to be made over players that play week in, week out, players that we're fond of to go to the next level. Also, I feel we got to be smart. We can't just rock up and kill 5-6 players of this team and bring a next one in. We need to kind of leverage the stability and whatnot. If I'm honest with you. To wrap this up, though, obviously Friday, Southampton. Score predictions, lads.
Well, going off you lot's kind of wishes, I'm gonna go for a 3-0 win. I think it should be a 3-0 win. Southampton, they don't offer anything. If we don't win 3-0, then
be humble. Let's not get at them.
Yeah, no. If it's not 3-0, then it's not gonna. It probably won't be the best kind of walk into the next game. Who we've got is Man City on, I believe, the Wednesday. So I think we need to go for a clean win. Convincing how we played against West Ham. Just do the same thing for the first 35 minutes. And a 3-0 win would be something which I'll be looking for. But
I'm going 3-1. Where are you two going with? I'll go 3-1. Lee's gone 3-0.
I'm going 4-1.
4-1.
2-0.
Oh. No. Do you know what? If we're right, if one of us is right, that doesn't matter because we get 3 points. And I think we needed 6 points before City. We definitely need 3 points now, innit?
I mean, I'll take 1-0, but what I really want to see is like a resounding victory. Do you know what I mean? To kind of like
W has said here. The name's a bit brazy, but need a comfortable
win. Do you know what I mean? Just to kind of silence some of the haters and obviously give City some food for thought in it going into that.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think Man City. I genuinely don't think Man City look at us currently and think, oh, like big bag Arsenal. I think they're
only enemies themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they know. I think they know that we've got a threat, but I don't think they're worried. I'll be honest with you. I don't think if we won 5-0, I don't think they're. Oh my god!
I think they've been waiting for this moment all season.
They're ready now, man. They're ready.
They were waiting for us to be caught. They knew at some point we would drop points and we'd have to buck them. And now it's as much as it's in our hands, it's in their hands. That greater things have happened in football. So if I was a betting man, I probably wouldn't bet on my football club, unfortunately. But I hope a miracle happens, in it. Like we're here, we might as well. We can't guarantee we're going to be in this scenario next season, so we might as well give it all we've got and have no regrets. Let people know where they can find you, lot. People, it's been a fantastic panel, man. We've had bants, we've had jokes, we've done everything, man. If you let people know they can find you, man. Not the Smith-Rowe hater though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about certain, man.
Listen, I tell you what, you definitely ain't gonna find me on no ESR prop. But listen, man.
Wait, when Smith-Rowe's back, don't bread. No, listen, buy your stocks now while it's low, people.
When you call the title-winning goal, against Chelsea on Stamford Bridge,
I want to gas up Eddie and Katie, but not Smith-Rowe. It's crazy. You must be from South.
Listen, Eddie's shown me something, but anyway, listen, you can.
Eddie's showing you something, but you know what? Cool.
Listen, this season, what have you done for me lately? Gunner King, African Gooner.
This is the problem with life. It's always what have you done for me lately? We never forget the past. The 4 founders, bro. Smith-Rowe ran so my man could walk. He inspired Eddie and Ketty's little run last season. Shameless agendas, man.
We leveled up, but nah, you can definitely.
He's a fake A-lender as well. He come from Cobham. Eddie, I'm sorry, but Smith-Rowe, I have to protect him, man.
My life, bro.
Well, they both from Cobham. They both were from Cobham, actually. But yeah.
Hey, I've seen Nketiah in the Chelsea training shirt. I ain't seen Smith-Rowe in that way. I can't lie.
Talk to your guy, man. Talk to your guy, man. But no, yeah, you can find me on YouTube, man. Gooner_Lee, and you'll find me on AFTV Weekly doing stuff over there. So yeah, big up, man.
Oh man, who else we missed? King, you never said yours, did you?
Oh no. So yeah, like YouTube, the Armory TV. Yeah, one of the co-founding members there. Very close to 1,000 subs now. TikTok.
Follow everyone, people.
Gunner King 14, Twitter, Gunner King 14, Instagram, Gunner King 14.
Follow him on TikTok. He's always stressing out other fans, man. I
love rattling, bro. I can't lie, bro. I live for it. And I'll be here for Chelsea's funeral later on, no matter what.
I'll be doing a watch along for that, people. 7:50. Make sure you're here, man. Hopefully, it is a funeral still. African, we cut you off. Where you going?
Nah, no stress. I wanted to thank you again for having us on. Like, I'm really enjoying this platform. I think it's great to see, like, even though we have some different opinions, that's the beauty of this, right? People from around the world see things differently. You can see who likes which specific player. Like, you know, I already know which one of you likes which player, which ones you don't like, and that's the beautiful part of the game, right? And about being a fan and about, you know, different playing styles, different.
Certain man don't like Declan Rice. I don't know if they know ball, man.
It's a really great platform to have that and be able to chat about it. If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter. At La African Gooner, and Gunner King, you and I, in 2-3 years' time, let's see where Fabio Vieira is, because I think it's a really interesting one, and I'm curious to see what happens with him.
Yeah, sure. I'll be here.
We'll be here. I mean, we're hoping he's gonna do well. We spent 30 million on him. I don't want that money to go to waste, man. So I want him to be a great player.
And on that note, people, it's been a great show. We're back next. Probably Monday. Hopefully we could do Tuesday. But listen, I'll organize with the guys. Monday or Tuesday, we'll be back again. I'm live at 7:50, people. And obviously check out the rest of the shows. You've heard the Mandem plug their platforms. Go and follow them. As soon as the stream's done, all their information is going to be in the description of the YouTube vid. You lot enjoy what's left. We're out, man. One love, you lot. As usual, appreciative for you lot being part of my panel, man. Peace, people.
Peace.
There's always just that active red flag, defending. I think it's like